Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video tonight I just want to give you the breaking news on Harry Maguire, and this is negative news because according to reports, and it's here in the BBC, they have said that Manchester United captain Harry Maguire has been given a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days in prison after his trial on the Greek island of Syros. He was found guilty of repeated bodily harm, attempted bribery, violence against public employers and insult after arrest on Mykonos, if I pronounced that correctly. Maguire said after Tuesday's verdict that he had instructed his legal team with immediate effect to inform the courts we will be appealing. I remain strong and confident regarding our innocence in this matter. If anything, myself, family and friends are the victims, he added. Later on Tuesday, which is obviously now, England manager Gareth Southgate withdrew Maguire from the squad for September's Nation League games against Iceland and Denmark. Because obviously Harry Maguire has had his trial today. Obviously his lawyer spoken to the Greek court, and he said that apparently Maguire's career is over, and he said that he was attacked on his legs by police, and reportedly Harry Maguire had said to police officers, "Do you know who I am?" Now obviously Harry Maguire was arrested obviously for allegedly attacking police, and so too were two other people. They was arrested. I heard that Harry Maguire's sister had been stabbed. But don't forget, recently Harry Maguire did not plead guilty to charges. He did not plead guilty to charges, and he did spend a few nights in the Greek cells. So this is the breaking news on him. It did actually say that he could have paid £90,000 to avoid going to jail for 3 years, obviously before this trial took place today. And it also said him and his friends wrapped a £63,000 bar bill. But there is a lot of uncertainty now regarding Harry Maguire's future. Like I said, this season it will be his second season at the football club. Obviously, last season was his first season at Manchester United. And my perception on him last season, I thought he had some good games, Harry Maguire, but he also had some bad games. Now, obviously, we've got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So he's the second most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. But I think Solskjaer's got a decision to make on Harry Maguire at Manchester United. Obviously, he's our current captain at the moment, but I do believe that we need to take the captaincy off Harry Maguire, because I don't think he's good enough to captain the team. He doesn't really show any leadership. With the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, they show fantastic leadership in the team, so I think we should give the captaincy to one of them. So anyway, that is the breaking news on Harry Maguire. Now, let me just delve into a bit of news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So I think Manchester United have got to make a quick decision on Sancho. Now, I'm actually going to fully disregard him coming to Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Sky Sports have recently said that Jadon Sancho to Man United transfer could be now or never. So what it means is, if we don't sign him in this summer transfer window, we may never sign him. Now, it does say we have abandoned our chase for Sancho until the summer of 2021, which is obviously next summer. Now, don't forget Sebastian Kell, who was one of Borussia Dortmund's directors. He did recently say that Sancho is happy at Dortmund, and he said he will stay at Borussia Dortmund. So he's basically saying the exact same thing as what Borussia Dortmund's CEO said. He's also saying the same thing as what their sporting director said, Michael Zorc, because they said, he'll stay at Dortmund and the decision is final. So I think we've given up on Sancho. He did recently say that we agreed a contract with Sancho, but obviously no fee has come to an agreement. And throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because Borussia Dortmund have remained ruthless over their valuation, and they've said that they want over £100 million. We are not determined to meet their valuation. I think it said we're only willing to pay like £60 or £70 million up front. But if we would have met their valuation, then Sancho would have been our most expensive signing, and he would have been the most expensive English player in history. But the personal terms and the agent fee have also proven to be an issue recently. But quite a few weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that Sancho would have been coming to Manchester United, because obviously Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Sancho had agreed personal terms with Man United. He said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with the club, and it said that negotiations between Man United and Borussia Dortmund were at an advanced stage. But just after that, it said that talks have broken down between United and Dortmund. Main explanation is because of Borussia Dortmund's asking price. Sancho said quite a few times, that he would like to come to Manchester United, and I've outlined the reasons why I'd take him at the club. Is because he's got a good friendship with Rashford, he's predominantly a right winger, and he has got good physical attributes, and he's still only very, very young. But we missed out on the deadline to sign him, because Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August to sign Jadon Sancho. But obviously, he decided to go on pre-season with Borussia Dortmund. I think we've now come to accept the fact that we're not going to get him in this summer transfer window, and this is the main explanations why we are now looking at a lot of alternatives to him. Because I will make an admission, these much cheaper solutions than Sancho. Been looking at Douglas Costa from Juventus, Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, David Brooks from Bournemouth. But we did make a promise to Sancho that we was willing to offer him the number 7. We've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations, and obviously we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But Sancho has enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. He really, really has, and his valuation's persistently grown, reflecting on his good run of performances. Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. The main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. And before he was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14, so he was there for several years. Sancho's still got a contract, I think, with Dortmund. Is it till 2022 or 2023? But would Sancho cost more next summer, or would he be cheaper next summer? I think it all depends on how he performs this season with Dortmund, because he is now likely to stay with them. But it's looking like he's going to be the third player we're going to miss out on under Solskjaer, because we've already missed out on 2 players under Solskjaer, and that was Haaland and Jude Bellingham. Of course, they both went to Borussia Dortmund. But we've got to hurry up and make signings in this summer transfer window, because the summer transfer window has been open now, is it just over 4 weeks, and we have not yet made any signings. And my element of concern is that these teams around us that are recruiting very, very well. And obviously Solskjaer is looking to improve the squad. I heard that we could play some friendlies before the Premier League starts. Our pre-season plans, I think, are unknown at the moment. I think we start training, is it next week? Now, I think I don't think I know what our transfer budget is for this summer transfer window. It did say at the end of last season that we have got around £140 million to spend. Solskjaer did actually outline his transfer plans at the end of last season, and he said that he wants Man United to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. And I think Ed Woodward has said he wants Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings. But I think now Man United and, the fans and that are losing patience with the board, reflecting on the lack of transfer activity. Because like I said to you before, we have been very, very critical of the Glazers for several years, and we've also been very, very critical of Woodward. But there's explanations behind it, and one of those explanations is reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy has been for several years. Woodward has been with us since 2012, and the Glazers have been with us since 2005. But Woodward and the Glazers have said quite a lot of times they are willing to back Solskjaer, and they are willing to get the players that he wants to bring in. And Ed Woodward said quite a few times last season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe, even when we went through that bad period at the first part of last season, because at the first part of last season we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. We really, really did. But there's been so many players on our agenda. There really, really has. Earlier on today, I give you the breaking news on Donny van der Beek from Ajax. It was stemming from Sky Sports. Well, I read it in Sky Sports, and it says that, Donny van der Beek wants to make a move to the Premier League, and he's set to snub a move to Barcelona to come to the Premier League. And it said he is awaiting offers from Premier League clubs, but he still insists that he is happy at Ajax. So if he was to remain with Ajax this season, he wouldn't, be complaining too much. Ronald Koeman did say that he wants Barcelona to sign Donny van der Beek, because he said before he officially got appointed in as Barcelona manager, he said, I want Donny van der Beek, and he said, he was his priority signing. Donny van der Beek is a cheap solution. I think, he's available for under £50 million. He did actually, say back in June that we'd submitted around the £36 million bid. Erik ten Hag, who is the head coach of Ajax, he said that, Donny van der Beek is leaving. And also to Edwin van der Sar, he said that Donny van der Beek is allowed to leave Ajax, but only for a suitable fee. But would you take him at Man United? He's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. He's a much cheaper solution than Jack Grealish. Obviously, Jack Grealish, he's one of our priority targets. But I just feel as though Jack Grealish is too much, because Villa have said that they want £80 million. But if Donny van der Beek did come to the Premier League, I think he'd exceed expectations. I think he's had a good career so far with Ajax. He's actually spent the entirety of his career so far with Ajax. He's enjoyed 12 years with them. Joined them in 2008. Their youth setup was in their youth setup for like 7 years, and broke into their senior squad in 2015. He has got a contract with Ajax until 2022. Obviously there's been a few centre-halves on our agenda, because obviously we're looking for someone to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. Some United fans would say, they want to see a left-back come in. Our two predominant left-backs are Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams and that. But, Solskjaer so far at the football club has made around 4 permanent signings. Last summer he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And obviously in January he bought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. He obviously brought Odion Ighalo on loan. He's obviously brought a few academy players in. So far Solskjaer spent just over £200 million at Manchester United. And like I said, this season is the big test for Solskjaer, because this season is his second full season at the club. And he knows that he'll have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, and our other expectation will be to get some silverware on the board, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer, and we've not won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time that's happened in like 31 years. And there's still improvements needed at Manchester United. There really, really is. There's still aspects of our game that I've got to improve. There's certain areas where we've got to strengthen up. I definitely think there's certain players that I've still got to improve. Solskjaer needs to improve his decision making. But there you go. But it's very, very imperative that we do have a strong start to this season. Very, very imperative. But last season was obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at Manchester United, and to be honest with you, Solskjaer did exceed most expectations. You know, he got us to 3 semi-finals. He got us to the FA Cup semi-final. He got us to the Europa League semi-final and the EFL Cup semi-final. But Solskjaer said semi-finals are not good enough, and he also got us qualification for the Champions League. And I did say, didn't I, how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. And, you know, we also finished third, which was obviously, I thought was a fantastic achievement. You know, so he did quite well in his first full season at the football club. But I don't know if Solskjaer's a foreseeable future for Man United. You know, this season will tell the story. But there's a few things that Solskjaer's got to do. You know, he hasn't only got to, you know, make new signings. You know, he's also got to get rid of players. We are going to get rid of more of the deadwood in this summer transfer window. We're going to. I think we could get rid of up to 9-10 players. You know, we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. Looking to also get rid of Chris Smalling, Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, Diego Dalot. Some United fans will say we need to get rid of Bay. You know, some United fans will say we need to get rid of Victor Lindelof. Obviously, Sergio Romero is open to leaving Manchester United. You know, but obviously, you know, we get rid of players in this summer transfer window. We'll generate money, and obviously, it will help us with our rebuilding process. You know, I think, you know, we've got to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club. I give you the news on Paul Pogba recently because it said that Paul Pogba's staying at Manchester United and he will hold talks over a new contract. His agent Mino Raiola had confirmed this recently. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. He did say a few weeks before the end of last season that Pogba was close to signing a 5-year contract with Man United, and Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Pogba is happy at Manchester United and he said he wants to stay at Manchester United. For the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because he was out with that ankle injury, but he sustained a few injuries as a Man United player. But I thought towards the end of last season, Paul Pogba was exceptional. I thought he did well in some of our Europa League games. He recently celebrated his 4-year anniversary at the football club. But I think Pogba will remain at Man United for this season. And I think his combination with Bruno Fernandes has been absolutely fantastic. I think definitely Solskjaer's got to put Dean Henderson as number 1 for this season, because, you know, I think Dean Henderson's now reliable enough to become our number 1 because he has now got that experience behind him, and he did recently endure 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, did Dean Henderson, and I thought he was Sheffield United's player of the season. You know, it was only last year that Dean Henderson had signed a new deal with Man United worth £60,000 a week, and it did recently say from Sky Sports that Dean Henderson is close to signing a 4-year deal with Man United worth £100,000 a week. This will make him one of the highest paid goalkeepers in the world. You know, but Solskjaer did recently say that Dean Henderson is not yet ready to become number 1, and he said he wants David De Gea to remain number 1 for at least another season. De Gea has been our number 1 goalkeeper for several years, because David De Gea has been a long serving at Man United. I think this season will be his 10th season at the football club. He's enjoyed around 9 years here. So, yeah, but Solskjaer was saying prior to the game against Copenhagen in the Europa League, he said that, you know, we're facing a goalkeeping dilemma and it's going to be difficult to keep De Gea, Romero and Henderson all at the football club for this season. So, there you go. But I have taken positives from Solskjaer's tenure so far. You know, Solskjaer has been at the football club, is it around 19 or 19 and a half months. I think definitely our recruitment has improved under him. I think throughout the course of last season, he promoted the youth very, very well. I think his approach to a lot of the big games were also very, very good. I've got to credit Solskjaer as well, because he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to Manchester United. You know, we've seen players like Sanchez leave, Angel Gomez, Tahith Chon, he recently went out on loan, Herrera, Fellaini, Lukaku, Damian, Smalling, Rojo went out on loan, but they are now back. Valencia left the club last summer. You know, Ashley Young left in January. You know, we've obviously loaned a few players out as well. So yeah, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood. By the way, we're going to loan a few young players out. We're going to be loaning James Garner out and Dylan Levitt. I think also two Kovar's getting loaned out. Joe Pereira's going to be going out on loan again. He's going out on loan to Huddersfield Town. Joe Pereira was out on loan with Hearts last season. You know. So there you go. And we have seen an upturn in form since January, because don't forget we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. And we did go on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea beating us in the FA Cup semi-final. If things don't work out this season though under Solskjaer, then possibly Solskjaer could be sacked as Manchester United manager. If this was to happen, then who should come in to replace him? Even if we enjoy a bad season this season, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to sack him. You know, because I'm surprised he didn't get sacked to the first part of last season. But I think if he did get sacked, Solskjaer, and if it didn't go if it doesn't go well this season, then maybe Pochettino could come in to replace him. Massimiliano Allegri could come in to replace him. Some United fans, even though there has been an upturn in form, still don't think Solskjaer's a foreseeable future. And I think they think we need a manager like a Jurgen Klopp or maybe a Pep Guardiola, you know, a manager like with a proven pedigree in that, you know. But I've always said Solskjaer needs more time, because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. You know, Solskjaer's inheriting a squad that's worth £700 million, don't forget. Obviously, you know, he's inheriting players here from the Jose Mourinho era. There's still a few players here from the Louis van Gaal era. And there's matter here from the David Moyes era. And still a few players here from the Ferguson era. But the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. And, you know, in the last 7 years, you know, we've recruited a good 32, 33 players in. I think a lot of the players we've brought in over the years, you know, haven't been, you know, the right calibre players for Man United. But on the other hand, you know, there's players that we've brought in who we should have kept in reality. You know, Lukaku should have kept him. He obviously left as well last summer. Did I mention him earlier on? Some United fans will say we shouldn't have got rid of Herrera. Some United fans will say we shouldn't have got rid of Wilfried Zaha, but there again, never got his opportunities and that. Some United fans will say, you know, we shouldn't have got rid of Angel Di Maria. But I think we have made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years anyway, and that's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent. You know, and we've spent a good £900 million on players since Ferguson's retirement. And in the last 7 years, we've only won 3 trophies, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. In the entirety of our history, we've won 45 trophies. 38 of them trophies came under Alex Ferguson. Obviously, Ferguson enjoyed 20 odd years at Man United. There again, though, didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. So it does take time for some managers to settle in, but I just think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United or any manager in general to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. But all our success came under him, because obviously even before Ferguson, you know, weren't good. We was poor under Ron Atkinson. We was poor under Wolf McGuinness. He enjoyed around 18 months at Man United. We was poor under Franco Farrell because we got relegated under Franco Farrell back in 1974, which is 40 odd years ago now. But like I've said, we want to be up there competing with the likes of City and Liverpool. You know, we want to win a title under Solskjaer. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Ferguson last season. You know, we've won 20 titles, 13 of them are Premier League, so we are the most successful team in Premier League history at the moment. You know, we've got a decision to make on the contracts still. We've got, is it around 7 or 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. But to be fair, we have extended a lot of players' contracts since Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club. So that's very, very good. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.